Aaron Judge might be having the greatest peak of any right-handed hitter in baseball history, but if the Toronto Blue Jays want to defend their American League pennant in 2026, he is actually the absolute least of our worries. You heard me right. We know what Judge is going to do. You tip your cap, you give up the solo shot, and you move on. But as we open this 2026 campaign, there are 4 specific, highly dangerous assassins lurking in our division that the Blue Jays absolutely must neutralize if we want to get back to the World Series. If you turn on Sportsnet or TSN this morning, or if you are scrolling through the absolute nervous energy of Blue Jays Nation on X, everyone is obsessing over the superstars. But every Jays fan knows that the AL East battle isn't won by just shutting down the cover athletes. It's won in the trenches. It is won by silencing the guys who inexplicably turn into Hall of Famers the second they step foot inside the Rogers Center. The media pulse right now is focused on our World Series hangover, but as an analyst looking at the raw data, my eyes are glued to the opposing dugouts. Let's completely flip the script today and start our tactical breakdown in the Bronx. Giancarlo Stanton. Look, the Yankees lineup is a two-headed monster, but the Blue Jays pitching staff needs to accept that Aaron Judge is going to get his numbers. The strategic outlook here is entirely about isolating Judge by completely suffocating his partner in crime. Last year, in 2025, Stanton played 77 games. In that short span, he hit 24 home runs with a .944 OPS. It was his most terrifying stretch of baseball in a Yankees uniform. The guy literally told the media this spring that his elbows hurt so badly, he can't even open a bag of potato chips, yet he can still violently launch a 97-mile-per-hour fastball into the second deck. But here is the blueprint, and this is where manager John Schneider and pitching coach Pete Walker earn their paychecks. We neutralized Stanton in the ALCS last October. We did it by tunneling Kevin Gausman's splitter-off high inside fastballs. We cannot let Stanton extend his arms. When you look at our bullpen construction and the power arms we kept after the final spring training cuts, the entire philosophy is built around generating swing and miss inside the strike zone against guys exactly like Stanton. If we keep Stanton in the yard, we win the series. It is that simple. Now let's travel down to Baltimore, because this next one makes my blood boil. Adley Rutschman. Looking at the roster moves today and the way the Orioles are constructed, Rutschman is their spiritual leader, but offensively he has been incredibly pedestrian against 28 other major league teams. Since the start of 2024, Rutschman has a wildly mediocre .691 OPS against the rest of the league. But against the Toronto Blue Jays, he turns into prime Johnny Bench. In 20 games against us over that span, the switch-hitting catcher has blasted 8 home runs and driven in 19 runs. It defies all analytical logic. Why does this guy own us? From a strategic standpoint, our catchers and our advanced scouting department need to completely overhaul how we sequence pitches to Rutschman. We have been trying to beat him with breaking balls down and away, and he just keeps flipping them into the gaps. We need to challenge him inside. We need our veteran starters to pitch with a chip on their shoulder. When you are making a postseason push, you cannot let a guy hitting under .700 against the rest of the league slug like an MVP against you. The Blue Jays need to treat Adley Rutschman exactly like the rest of the league treats him: attack the hands, elevate the fastball, and sit him down. Moving over to Tampa Bay, thank the baseball gods that Brandon Lowe is finally out of the division. That guy was a certified Blue Jays killer for half a decade. But the Rays still have Yandy Diaz, and Diaz is a massive, terrifying roadblock in our AL East battle. Junior Caminero might have the most raw power in that Tampa lineup, but Yandy Diaz is the engine. In 72 career games against Toronto, Diaz has a .412 on-base percentage. Let that sink in. Nearly half the time he steps to the plate against us, he ends up on the base paths. In 2025, our pitching staff finally figured out a temporary band-aid. We held Diaz to a .776 OPS, which was a massive victory considering he posted an OPS of 1.040 or higher against us in the 3 seasons prior. How did we do it? Elite infield defense. This is where the roster analysis of our own squad becomes paramount. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has evolved into a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, picking balls out of the dirt and saving throwing errors. Bo Bichette has refined his footwork at shortstop. Diaz hits the ball on the ground harder than almost anyone in baseball. You don't strike Yandy Diaz out. You have to play flawless defense behind your pitchers. If we want to survive the nightmare that is Tropicana Field this season, our infield defense has to be absolutely airtight. Keep Yandy off base, and the Rays' offensive machine grinds to a screeching halt. Finally, we have to look up to Boston. The Red Sox are building something dangerous, and at the center of it is a 21-year-old kid named Roman Anthony. If you aren't paying attention to the prospect watch around the league, wake up. Anthony is a rising superstar. As a rookie last year, he posted an .859 OPS, which translates to a 140 OPS plus. He was 40% better than the league average hitter at 21 years old. And if you thought it was a fluke, he went and dominated on the global stage for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. The phrase in Boston right now is "fear the Roman Empire," and honestly, they have a right to be cocky about this kid. This matchup is fascinating because it highlights the stark contrast in roster building between Toronto and Boston right now. The Red Sox are letting their kids play through their mistakes. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays are in win-now mode. Look at our spring training cuts. We sent incredibly talented, high-ceiling prospects down to the Buffalo Bisons because we simply do not have the at-bats for them at the major league level. We are relying on our veteran core. We are relying on George Springer to turn back the clock in right field. We are relying on established professionals to grind out 162 games. When we play Boston, it is going to be our seasoned veterans against their hungry youth. Our pitching staff has to exploit Roman Anthony's aggressiveness. You cannot lay fastballs over the heart of the plate against a kid with that kind of bat speed. We need to use our experience. We need Gausman, Berrios, and Bassett to show this kid different arm angles, different release points, and completely disrupt his timing. If we let Roman Anthony get comfortable in the box, the Red Sox are going to be a massive thorn in our side all summer long. So, looking at these four divisional assassins, Stanton, Rutschman, Diaz, and Anthony, it brings me to my final verdict on the Toronto Blue Jays front office and their preparation for 2026. Did Ross Atkins and the management team do enough this winter to equip John Schneider with the weapons necessary to neutralize these specific threats? My verdict is yes, but with a massive, glaring asterisk. The front office built a bullpen full of high-velocity, high-spin rate arms specifically designed to come in and extinguish fires in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They built a roster with incredible defensive versatility to take away the ground balls from guys like Yandy Diaz. They kept our prospect depth stashed in the Buffalo Bisons so that if a veteran goes down, we have immediate, capable reinforcements ready to step into the fire of an AL East battle. But the margin for error is absolutely zero. You can have all the analytics, all the defensive shifts, and all the bullpen depth in the world. But baseball is played by human beings on a diamond, not on a spreadsheet. The Blue Jays have the target on their backs this year. These four players and these four rival teams are going to treat every single game against Toronto like it is Game 7 of the World Series. Our veterans have to execute. The pitching staff has to hit their spots. If we can keep Stanton in the yard, figure out whatever voodoo curse Rutschman has over us, keep Diaz off the base paths, and humble Roman Anthony, the American League East belongs to Toronto once again. I want to hear from the absolute best fans in baseball. Get in the comments right now and tell me, which of these four AL East rivals terrifies you the most this season? Is it Stanton's power or Rutschman's weird dominance over us? Drop a Go Jays in the comments to manifest a massive opening day victory. If you want the most relentless, deep dive Toronto Blue Jays coverage on the internet every single day, you need to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. We are just getting started. Go Jays!